Facilitators: Thomas Decker, Maurice Tomlinson from the Canadian HIV and AIDS Legal Network, Mr. Oren Jarek, Director of Meeting Emotional and Social Needs Holistically MESH, Commandant of the Police Training School, Assistant Superintendent Everton Jeffers, instructors of the Police Training School, participants in this sensitivity training, members of the media, other invited guests, good morning. My name is Corporal Warner, number 13, Corporal of the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexual, intersex, LGBTI sensitivity program, which will be facilitated by the Canadian HIV and AIDS Legal Network and other facilitators in this effort. At this time, I wish to invite Constable 212 Edwards, who will offer us the opening prayer. Constable Edwards, please stand. Thank you, Constable Edwards. As short as it was, we understand that we would have invited our Heavenly Father to be a part of today's proceedings. At this time, we will invite, to speak on behalf of the Police Administration, Assistant Superintendent Everton Jeffers, Commandant of the Police Training School. Round of applause, please, as he approaches.
Thank you so very much. And in spite of not having much protocol to observe, I'm going to ask that I observe the protocol that has already been observed. Do I have it? Yes. Thank you very much. Good morning to all, and it is indeed my pleasure to be here this morning. And let me first take this opportunity to welcome the facilitators, Mr. Decker and Tomlinson, here to Antigua and Barbuda, and to say to you that it is indeed a pleasure to have both of you here. I know that here in Antigua and Barbuda and in the Caribbean, that there is this way of looking at gays and lesbians, and I believe that it is time that we become aware of what is happening around us. And you know, it's not an acceptable thing for some people, and I believe that this morning you will be enlightening us as to how we ought to deal with those persons who are not what we would consider to be like us in our sexual preferences. And so I believe that when you would have left Antigua and Barbuda, most of us would be in a better position and will be more understanding, if I may use that term, as to how we ought to deal with those who work with us, work beside us, that are not like us. Let me put it that way. And so I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the Commissioner of Police to say, welcome to Antigua. I believe you have a wealth of knowledge that you have to impart to those that are here this morning. We are really looking forward for the information you brought, and I hope that at the end of this training, that those of you who are here that are sitting in this classroom this morning, even to our civilian friends, and I believe that you would have dealt with something like this before, I hope, I would want to believe that this would better equip us to deal with those that we have to deal with when we come in contact with them, whether it's at the workplace or even on the street, not to stigmatize, but to show empathy and love, even though they are of a different, what we call a different persuasion. And so on behalf of the Commission of Police, I'd like to declare this workshop open. I wish you well, learn much, so that when you go back to your various departments, sections, that you will be able to better guide your colleagues. God bless you and have a wonderful morning.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Assistant Superintendent Jeffers, for your brief remarks. At this time, we will invite Facilitator Maurice Tomlinson. He is the Senior Policy Analyst from the Canadian HIV and AIDS Legal Network. Let's welcome Facilitator Tomlinson, please.
Thank you very much, Commandant. Thank you for your words of welcome to my colleague, to the Master of Ceremonies. As you said, Commandant, all protocols observed. It is a pleasure to be here in Antigua and Barbuda. As a Jamaican, I always like coming somewhere where people sound like me. You know, they always say that Antiguans sound the most like Jamaicans in the Caribbean. I'm very happy to be here to participate in this sensitivity program. I believe that Antigua has a wealth of knowledge to share with us, because you have made some interesting advances and developments in this area. I recognize a face from this training when we delivered it in St. Lucia before. So there'll be a lot of exchange, a lot of dialogue going on, and it's expected to be a very interactive session. This is the 6th session we've done so far. We've done it in Suriname, Barbados, St. Lucia, Grenada, St. Kitts, and now we're in Antigua. We're very pleased, and we hope to do some more islands in the next year. The reason we're targeting this particular community, the LGBTI community, is because as an HIV and AIDS organization, we're very concerned that they're particularly stigmatized, and as a result, they're driven underground away from effective HIV prevention, treatment, care, and support interventions. And we believe that the police are the first line, not the healthcare providers. I always say it's great if you have prevention, treatment, and care interventions in a hospital, but people have to feel safe going to the hospital to access this treatment. And if they don't access the treatment, then unfortunately, it becomes a public health risk for all of us who live in this society. So by helping them to keep themselves safe, we're helping the society to be safe. And so I'm hoping that you will participate in this session with that mindset. This is not about changing people's values. You're entitled to your views. We're not here to change your views. But as the Commandant said, it's about learning how to respect people that may be different to us, so that we protect them, and in turn, they protect us. Thank you for coming, and I hope that we'll have a fruitful dialogue. I'd now like to invite the Director of MESH to give a few words and explain why he decided to invite us to come and share here in Antigua. Thank you.
Good morning once again, all protocols observed. For those of you who don't remember where I am, my name is Orin Jarrick, Corporal of Police in the very organization you belong. Meeting emotional and social needs holistically, MESH, was established in 2010. Since MESH began, we have worked with various organizations on island, regionally, and internationally. We have been hearing the cry of certain sections of the communities, and it is with this in mind, more recently, persons have been crying out that the police lack training in dealing with certain issues pertaining to these communities. As a result, MESH, in collaboration with the Canadian HIV/AIDS Legal Network, United and Strong, the British High Commission, CARIFLAG, along with the Royal Police Force of Antigua and Barbuda, sees it fit that members of the organization be trained to deal with issues that affect not just the organization, but a large number of general population in Antigua and Barbuda, to which the LGBTI community belong. Ladies and gentlemen, for the next few days, we will be receiving information that will impact our lives tremendously. Some information that we will be receiving may sound strange, but it's a learning experience. Learn what you can learn, take it back to the various workplaces and into the community, the persons you have to deal with. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you, Director of MESH. This time we would have come to the closure of a very brief opening ceremony. And what I would like to do is hand it over to Facilitator Tomlinson, who is evidently ready to proceed with today's schedule for this sensitivity training. Let's welcome again Facilitator Tomlinson.
Thank you. And we're going to go right into the session because we have a very busy morning. And I'm very sensitive to the fact that at 4 o'clock, nobody in the Caribbean pays attention.